Hello fellow foodies. Today I will be making Chinese spicy chicken on a bed of deep fried spinach. You will need one large chicken breast and one bunch of spinach. For the chicken marinade you will need Chinese white pepper, sesame oil, soy sauce, and cooking oil. For the sauce you're going to need fava bean and chili paste 1 tablespoon, soy sauce 1 tablespoon, oyster sauce 1 tablespoon, chicken powder 1 teaspoon, and 1 heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay, so we have a large chicken breast all sliced up into thin slices. We're going to marinate it with some Chinese white pepper powder, a bit of sesame oil, a bit of soy sauce, and some cooking oil. We'll massage the sauce into the meat with our fingers. Okay, so I've got 2 green onions here. I'm going to slice it up into thin slices for the garnish. I've got 1 bunch of spinach, I'm going to wash it in cool water. Okay, because we're going to deep fry it, we want the leaves to be dry so that there's no spattering of hot oil when we put the spinach in the frying oil. So I'm going to put the spinach into a salad spinner so I can get it as dry as I can. See all that water that's coming out through the bottom? So you want to get the spinach as dry as you can before you throw it into the deep fryer. Okay, we have the heat on high and we're heating the wok up. So I'm going to fill the wok half full with oil and we're going to deep fry the spinach leaves. So about 5 minutes has passed, 5 to 7 minutes. And a way that Chinese people use to see if the oil's hot enough for deep frying is to take a wooden chopstick and dip it into the oil. And if little bubbles come up like that, then it means that the oil is ready for deep frying. So you have to use a wooden chopstick. Don't use plastic chopstick or a metal chopstick. It won't work. It has to be a wooden chopstick. Okay. So the oil's ready. We have one bunch of spinach. So we're gonna divvy it up into two deep fries. So we'll put half the spinach in first. So even if you have the leaves as dry as you can, when you throw a handful of spinach into oil, it's going to sputter pretty badly. So I'll usually step back as soon as I throw the spinach leaves into the oil. Otherwise, I'm going to get burnt for sure. So I have a plate laid out, and I'm going to put some paper towels on the plate, and I'm going to put the deep fried spinach leaves on there afterwards so I can absorb as much oil as I can. So I'm going to stir it once in a while. And you don't want the leaves too dark or be burnt. So when the leaves change from green to a light brown, then it's pretty much ready. And the noise makes a difference too. When it starts to stop sputtering, it means that most of the liquid's gone from the leaves, and it's pretty much ready then. So when it starts to turn a light brown, then you can take it out. So as you can see now, the leaves are still kind of green, but give it about 4 or 5 minutes, and it'll change into a light brown. This is one of my favorite dishes. I've only seen it at one restaurant. That was in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And it was like an old school Hong Kong style restaurant. It's been around in Vancouver for quite a while. It's an institution. And on the menu it said spicy chicken. And you see the term spicy chicken a lot in Chinese menus, but this one was different because when it arrived, it was chicken in a spicy sauce, but it was laying on a bed of deep fried spinach, and it was oh so good. So I copied it, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. That was pretty much the only place where I've seen this dish done. So as you can see, the leaves are turned brown. It's gotten a darker color, and it's pretty much ready to come out. Okay, we're going to put the second batch in. You see how the oil sputters like crazy when you throw the spinach in? Well, you want to be away from the wok when that happens. You want to give it a stir. Okay, so a couple minutes have gone by, and as you can see, it's changed color and it's ready to come out. So you take a slotted spoon to remove the spinach, and you give it an up and down bob to get any extra oil out. Okay, so the oil I use for deep frying in the wok, I save it and set it aside for when I have to deep fry in the wok again. So I have this little container that I keep the oil in. So when I return it, I strain it through a sieve to get all the little bits out. You can even use this oil for stir frying as well. Okay, I'm going to add some oil into the wok. I'm going to put the chicken in now. So you want to give the chicken a little stir every once in a while and make sure that it's turned over so both sides are cooked. So while it's cooking, we're going to make the cornstarch slurry for the sauce. So I'll take 1 heaping tablespoon of cornstarch. And I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cold water to that. Give it a stir and mix the cornstarch in. Okay, I'll get the spinach all ready now, so I'm going to transfer that over to the glass Pyrex pie plate. So the spinach is all dry and crispy and a little bit oily, but it won't stay that way because when you pour the chicken and the sauce over it, the sauce will kind of be reabsorbed into the spinach, and it'll really give the spinach a really nice savory taste. So definitely it's a dish you should try making. Okay, so a few more minutes has passed by. The chicken's pretty close to being done. So I'm going to add some of the fava bean chili paste to it. That's going to give it a spicy taste. So I'll give it a good heaping tablespoon. So you want to fry the fava bean and chili paste in oil for a bit before you add any water to make the sauce, because kind of stir frying the paste kind of brings out the flavor in it. So you want to mix it in with the chicken, give it a stir, let it fry. Okay, so I'm going to add a cup of water to that. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of chicken powder. and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. You let that boil for a bit, kind of stir it around so the sauce gets mixed in. So once the chicken looks like it's done, we're going to add the cornstarch slurry. So you want to make sure there's a lot of sauce. If you find that the water's a little low, add more water because you want enough sauce to cover the spinach and kind of smother it. If you have a bit of a dry stir fry and you put that in the spinach, it won't work at all. It's got to be a very saucy stir fry that you put on the spinach. Okay, so you turn the heat off and then you're going to transfer that over and make sure that the sauce covers all of the spinach. And this dish is so good with rice too, for sure. Very delicious with rice. Okay, we're going to take the green onions and sprinkle it on top. And it's done. So there you have it. Chinese spicy chicken over a bed of deep fried spinach. A very unique dish. I've only seen it in one restaurant ever, and I've never seen it anywhere else, even on the internet. In fact, I don't see much use of deep fried spinach anywhere except in maybe East Indian cooking. Okay, bon appetit.